and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break, but we have returned with our first quarterfinals match. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Ghost River, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Virtus Pro. It is Astrea. And if you are in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat with your Gamba as we're settling into our ZvP. Again, as we mentioned before, Dark has been on a bit of a break. He was on a week or two long hiatus from the game, spending some time elsewhere. We were a little bit concerned that that was the last we had seen of Dark in the previous KSL, but no, Dark, he has returned. He is back. He's ready to make a deep run in this tournament, already making it to the quarterfinals. We'll see if Astrea can put a stop to the Dark. We'll see if he can. As for now, Dark going hatch gas full send. They're open for the unnatural. Natural, we're loading into Ghost River. A very small map, very short rush distance. Aggression is favored on a map as small as Ghost River. So we'll see if Dark can pop off. Likewise, we'll see how Astrea does open up as well. In the previous games against Eggs, we saw time and time again, Astrea did go for an earlier Twilight Council, earlier Blink-based opener. I do think it's just a really safe way to play, and it does work quite well against these more aggressive opponents. And I do feel like Dark does kind of categorize himself into that as well. So we'll see if Astrea continues or if he goes something a little bit different. What does Astrea embrace? For now, we're settling in. Astrea just trying to force some inefficient mining. Dark getting his unnatural natural up and running as well. Not doing anything crazy, not going gasless or anything like that. We'll see where Dark takes us from here. For the time being, getting into 100 gas into Link speed does pull out, doesn't pull out. So no fast lair, no fast Bailey nest or anything crazy like that. It's just going to be focusing on mineral production. We'll focus on defense, on queens, on drones, and on getting into his 3-base economy. Speaking of third bases on the horizon, Astrea across the map going for a Stargate opener. Hello. Going for a Stargate, I imagine, to Oracle. There's a probe in position, but I do think we should be rallying back soon. And we should soon be getting ready to take our third. As the depths are moving out. Just the initial depth so far. Checking the third base, checking saturation. Oracle is in production. So this is the initial Oracle first. Building up the adept count, now up to 2 adepts. Bearing in mind 2 adepts do want your workers. They cannot want your drones. So Dark has to keep up. Spark Queens are ready. Ooh, Evo Chamber doesn't morph in just in time. Very clutch Evo Chamber timing from Dark. And interesting, Astrea opening up double Oracle into a Void Ray. Sorry, single Oracle into Void Ray. That I was not expecting. The Overlord is going to be hunted down. Interesting. Dark going for a very fast Roach Warren. That is a sub 4-minute Roach Warren. Very early on. Very unexpected. Oracle hits the natural, gets 2 drones. Back up. But again, typically you would not get a Roach Warren this early on against a Stargate opener, so I'm leaning towards aggression from the side of Dark. I'm leaning towards a Roach timing. Twilight Council is on the way alongside the third base. Third base was delayed. It's possible that maybe Dark believes that Astrea went for a faster Twilight Council because of the late expansion, and that he believes it might be Glaive Adepts. So this could just be a safe response by Dark. I say that Roach production has already begun. Uh-oh. Yeah, Dark is embracing the Roaches. Leans, they get across the map. They get a surround. Adepts taking a lot of hits. Taking a lot of damage. 2 Adepts going to be falling. And Dark, he's not droning. He's not droning up. The fast Roach Warren was indeed for aggression. Stasis Trap in the main. Nice damage here from Astrea. Blink is being... Oh, he's going into DTs. That could work, actually. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close here as Dark is going all in. The queens are welling across the map. The roaches as well. Creep is spreading. It's all or nothing for Dark. And Astrea will have DTs eventually to defend, but he needs more time. And there's barely anything left. Shield batteries on the high ground. Nice positioning here for the shield batteries. But numbers-wise, Astrea just doesn't really have much to work with. Astrea, he's on 4 Stalkers. They have vanilla Stalkers as well. You see Dark just rotating over towards the natural. Ravager's going to be targeted down. First Ravager will fall. Not bad. He's trying to engage as well. Warrior is in position. Astrea falls back. The slow lots are coming into play again. Another Ravager gets denied. Darky makes his way over towards that natural. Trying to force Astrea to fight out range of the shield battery. Adept under fire. Now 3 Ravagers. Astrea, I mean, he's trading well here. He's buying time. Dark coming with us around, but the shield batteries are in a very good position. And they keep the Stalkers up and running. DTs, they come in to clean this up. There is 0 detection. And just like that, Astrea, he's bought enough time. The Invisible Man shuts us down. GG gets called, and Astrea takes game number 1. Whew. GG. It was all about buying time. It was all about just trying to buy as much time as possible for those Dark Templar. Remember, it was a hatch-based all-in out of Dark, and Astrea, he pulls it off. GG. GG, well played. Very creative defense hero. Just, I should say, it was a little bit risky as well, just because Astrea was very vulnerable up until that moment. You saw that it was barely holding on to that natural, but did hold nonetheless. GG. GG, well played. Just like that, Astrea is 1 game away from making it into the next round. Here we go. And as we're getting into our next game, a big shout out to Vindicta. I thought in the middle of that game, hope you had a great stream. Miguelito, papi, Miguelito. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And I hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. When are you playing in the next Ursasaurus Cup or Tenacious Turtle Tussle? Just saying, Miguelito. Just saying. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen you. Regardless, hope you had a good time. And welcome, everyone. Welcome to the quarterfinals of the Ursasaurus Cup. We are getting into game number 2 here of Dark versus Astrea. Let's go. Dark Shrine was a smooth call. It was really smart, just because, like, that was his win condition, right? Like, all Astrea had to do was buy time and survive for the Dark Shrine. Was able to pull it off, and here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Talent Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Virtus Pro. It is Astrea. Want to amass 1 more game to win the series. Now, I'm hoping for an ace match, regardless of how this goes, whether it goes the way of Dark or the way of Astrea. I want to see a game 3, but the pressure is now on Dark. The pressure is on. Dark going for his triangular third. Now, part of me wants to say, you know, the likelihood of Dark going for another all-in here is low because it didn't work in game 1, but it's Dark. Like, like he doesn't care. May not work game 1, but he will do it again in game 2. He's willing to do that sort of thing. Dark has no fear. So I don't want to rule it out, and neither should Astrea. So scouting is going to be key here for the Protoss. For now, hatch gas full, standard opener, out of our Zerg. Thing looking as it should. Likewise, Astrea going for a gate expand into Cybercore. So far, no major deviations here. As a reminder, last game, Astrea did open up Stargate into Oracle, into eventually Void Ray. But on a larger map like Site Delta, I imagine Oracle opener into a third base, into Blink is more along the lines of what we're going to be seeing. If you recall, in the previous game, before Astrea made the decision to go into DTs, he did start Blink. It was researching, then he cancelled Blink and then went for the Dark Shrine once he realized what was going on. I do imagine that this time he will be going for that initial opener, that initial build of the faster Twilight Council into Blink as he's taking a third. Until then, though, we're settling in. Until then, Dark is just saturating his bases. Lings are amassing. Ooh, but instead it's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Okay, Astrea going to be the aggressor here in Game 2. It's going to be the Twilight Council. This can lead into Glaive Adepts. This can lead into a Dark Shrine. Astrea has options. We'll see if he pulls out of gas. We'll see if he stays in. How aggressive, how assertive is Astrea going to be? For now, keeping up with the Lings. Hunting them down. No Robo yet. There we go. Robo is now on the way. You can see Astrea has pulled out of gas, so this should be Glaive Adepts. Should be 4 gate Glaives into a third. If he had stayed in gas, then I would lean more towards a Dark Shrine, as that does require more gas income. Meanwhile, across the map, ooh, do force out a couple of Spore Crawlers. There's the Glaives we did mention. Gateways are finishing up. Bearing in mind, this is not an all-in. This is not designed to kill. This is designed to cripple, designed to maim, and to give Astrea an economic lead. Dark poking forward. Ooh, forcing out the boys. Nice bit of walking out. Astrea, 1, 2 probes go down. 3 probes even. Oh my god. 4 probe kills is becoming a little bit too much. Almost a 5th. Better control here, but the league, it gets in. And Dark, he gets 5 probe kills and he gets a full scout of the main base. He gets eyes on the saturation, on the tech, on the researching Twilight Council. And Dark, he knows. He now knows exactly what's going on. And this is the best case scenario for Dark. Behind this, Dark is amassing Lings. He has time to throw down a Roach Warren. He's going for the Baneling Nest instead. A bit of a greedier response. But again, as long as he's able to keep up with the Shades, Baneling should be fine. And now there's a lot of pressure on Astrea. He's moving out ahead of time. Adepts back at home. He's moving out with what little he has. It's going to be how many? 7 Adepts here for Astrea. Queens are getting in position. Roach Warren's also on the way. Lings are amassing. Astrea does reinforce. And the goal here for Astrea should just be to trade. To trade with the Lings. Well, actually, I say trade. Maintain his control, of course, maintaining those Adepts. And try and expand behind this. Oh, he did pull back into gas. He'll take down the scouting Ling. The question becomes, does Astrea expand or does he start immortal production? And throw down like 2 more gates. That's a lot of Lings. Lings are moving out. Baneling stay back at home. Dark is rechecking once again for the 3rd. Still making more Lings. And Astrea, there we go. Immortal production has begun. Dark quite heavily supply blocked, getting 5 Overlords, but I mean, supply-wise, still should be fine. Astrea, he races back home. No gateway explosion yet. He has the money for an expansion. Going for another warp in. Meanwhile, Dark is building up Lingbane Ravager, or Lingbane Roach. Now, what I'm concerned about is that it looks like Astrea is maybe hoping that Dark has been droning, but Dark has been amassing up a massive army. And as Astrea expands, Dark, his goal here should be to knock down that 3rd. Yeah, Dark is moving out. Behind this, Astrea is attempting to expand. There is an Immortal back at home. Astrea, he spots the move out. But can he do anything about these Banelings? I mean, he is pre-split. I saw a lot of Lingbane. Astrea trying to bait them out. 3rd base is getting up. I mean, I'm loving the pre-split here. Solid for Astrea. The Immortals have arrived. And Dark, he backs off. He backs off for now. I say for now because he's still making more links. Like, Dark, he's still massing up an army. Did drone up to just under 3 base saturation. 57 drones. Astrea keeping Dark busy. Keeping eyes on the main army. As Astrea is fortifying himself. Shield battery is now on the way. Overcharge more immortals. I'd have to say shade into the main. We get a drone. Just the one clutch transfuse. Very nice defense out of Dark. Save the workers, and Dark, he did drone up a little bit more, up to 61. But still just focusing on Ling Roach Ravager. Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Astrea back at home, just the one shield battery. I feel like Astrea is a little bit underprepared at the third. We're lacking some SimCity, we're lacking more static defense. Like, Dark still has a massive army. And Dark will soon pull the trigger. He's waiting for upgrades, waiting for Roach speed, waiting for Baneling speed. Still a couple of seconds off. And Astrea, he's the one going to be moving out. Oh my god. He's crazy. Astrea moves out instead. And I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to the force fields. How good are the force fields going to be? Astrea, he is committing. He's got 3 immortals behind this. And he needs to look down those Banelings. That's a lot of Banelings morphing in. And Baneling speed is just now finishing, just in time. Force fields are okay, but Banelings are getting some of the sentries. And massive connection. Sentries go down. The Lings, they come in for a surround as well. Oh, and Astrea, he gets completely cleaned up. Forces a recall, shuts down the Adepts. And this third base, there's not much less to defend. Dark, he's pulling the trigger. He's sending everything across the map. The sentries weren't, sorry, the force fields weren't bad. It's just Banelings were morphing on top of the sentries. It was brutal. And with that, Dark is snowballing out of control. He has a massive supply lead. Astrea morphing in more depths. At least he kept the immortals alive. True. It doesn't matter. Because there's no sentries, no force fields. Ling Bane collapses on in. GG gets called, and Dark will tap the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Let's go. It was wild to see Astrea decide to move out across the map against that kind of army. But again, Astrea, he wasn't really set up defensively either. I guess was getting ready for his own all-in, but Dark also wasn't droning. Dark was more than ready. GG. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match. A very, yeah, just a very tense game 2 there. Very uneasy. That's maybe the best way of putting it. Very uneasy game. And we'll see how this story ends. One way or another, the final game. We're getting into the final game on Oceanborn. Again, it was just a really rough start for Astrea as well, winding it back. If you recall, the initial Ling Flood was able to get 5 probe kills and a full scout as well, so Dark was just really comfortable early on. Did delay the push and was fully aware of what was happening. Now we're getting into the ace match. Here we go. Loading into Oceanborn. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Astrea. Let's go. Have our ace match. We have our game 3. In game 1, we had Dark going for his all-in that was shut down on Ghost River, if you recall. Game 2 was a little bit more different. Where Astrea, I mean, technically he went for his own all-in as well, was shut down. And now the question becomes, do both players all-in each other, or do we see something more standard, something more macro for the first time? Do we actually drone? Ah, that'll be crazy. We'll see. I mean, we're loading into we're loading into Oceanborn. Oceanborn is known for 3-way soul-ins, for Zerg players joining up to 60, even less or slightly more workers. And just going for German taxis, going for Roach Queen walks across the map. It is not unheard of. Likewise, as we saw in the last game, Astrea is not the most standard of players either. Always why I appreciate watching these two face off. Always do appreciate. We'll see where this leads us. Based on the pylon location, it looks like a Stargate opener for Astrea, so looking more standard this time. No crazy Twilight counter into glaives, and not in Game 3. Not this time. Likewise, Darky pulls out a gas, just getting link speed, droning up, soon to be taking a third. And we have our takeoff choice. It is going to be the Stargate. So Stargate opener here from Astrea. That's going to be the initial Stargate. Dark expanding. Now, if you recall, something I was mentioning in the last game was, I was expecting Astrea to go Stargate into Oracle into a faster Twilight Council into Blink. We saw him attempt to go for that kind of build in Game 1. I'm expecting it here in Game 3, but we'll see. It's just a very safe way to play. Safe way to open up macro, I should say. Gateway. Third base soon to be taken. As Astrea is moving out with his first 2 adepts. It's going to be on Dark to keep up, to minimize losses. So far, so good. Oracle's moving out. There's going to be 2 queens of the natural. Adepts they do shade in. Astrea does target down 2 workers so far. Going for a third. Does get it. 3 drone kills. Oh, 4 drone kills. Not bad. To 7 workers in total for 2 adepts. Very nice trade. Dark going for a counterattack. Adepts are thrown away. That means no adepts to defend. But there is soon going to be a second Oracle. The Oracle pops out just in time. Does protect the third. Forces the Pulsar Beam. And Astrea follows it up, not with a Void Ray this time, but with a Phoenix. Interesting. Phoenix is on the way. Astrea looking to go for a Forge instead of the initial Twilight Council. See if he commits to that. Zero Glow is being hunted down. Yep, there's a Forge. Forge into Twilight Council, +1 and Blink. Astrea embracing a standard setup. And Dark back at home, likewise getting into +1 melee. No Roach Warren. It's +1 melee, droning up, saturating his bases. And based on this setup, Dark, he might end up going into Ling Hydra. He might decide to cut corners, skip out on Roaches, embrace Ling Hydra into Lurker Tech instead. And Balin that's getting thrown down. So a very different kind of style here from Dark. Dark, he's known for his Roaches in almost every single matchup, but here he does avoid the Roach Warren. Now, what's a little bit concerning as Dark is going into Ling Bane is that Astrea is actually not going into Blink. My apologies, I assumed it was going to be Blink, but it's going to be +1 and Charge instead. So Charge.Archon for Astrea. This is a very fast Temple Archives as well. This is going to be a very strong timing, I believe, with +1, with 2 to 4 Archons. Zealots are building up. And without any Roaches to defend, this might be a tough hold. Stays trapped in the third. Up! Does catch a lot of workers. for the cost of the Oracle. Meanwhile, second stasis here in the main. Dark does lose a lot of mining time, but at least doesn't lose many workers themselves. Did kill the Oracle. And here come the Archons. Astrea will soon move out. And this is designed to catch Dark droning. The Archon is spotted. And Dark, he will have no roaches to defend. Banelings are now morphing in. 20 lings in production. I mean, scouting the Archon is forcing a reaction, and it looks like Dark might just barely have enough to defend. As here comes Astrea. Again, +1 in charge, finishing up just in time for this push. A very crisp timing from the Protoss. Prism comes in, ready for reinforcements. First two Archons have arrived. Dark is getting ready. That is a lot of Banelings. These Zealots shouldn't get much done. Yeah, Dark has enough. Dark, he has enough to defend. Astrea backing off, getting to Immortal production, second robo as well. As we mentioned before, Astrea was hoping to try to catch Dark off guard, but was able to scout ahead of time. Dark is ready. Astrea retreats, and Dark can drone. But now he's droned up to 73. Fourth expansion is now done. Hydra production well underway. And from here, Dark can just go for a big Ling Bane Hydra timing or a big push, or tech up into Lurkers. Into an Infestation Pit, into Lurker Den, into Hive Tech. What does Dark go for? Dark does go back into droning. It's 10 more workers. Prism is moving out for harass. Astrea establishing a fourth. So far, Dark is still focusing on his unit production. Did drone up to 82. A solid drone count. Saturate his bases. Still no further tech though. Dark still focusing on Ling Bane Hydra. And Dark, he wants the fourth. And Astrea's not quite in position. He's moving out instead. I mean, that is a lot of High Templar. It's going to be a lot of storms. It's going to be 5 storms in total. Ling Bane army is spotted. Not many else. High Templar! Oh my god. Archons do tank the Banelings. That was close. Nice storms here on the Hydras. Hydras are melting. Ling Bane from behind. And we come in for the full surround. High Templar, there's no way out of this. Banelings, they will crash in. And where was the support? Where were the Zealots? The Zealots, they were harassing here on the right-hand side instead. They were harassing bases. Drones are going down. But was that really worth it? Because we lost every single Hydra. Sorry, every single High Templar and Immortal. Astrea does kill a hatchery, does get a base, does get 10 workers. Well, that was an expensive trade for Astrea. He lost 3 Immortals, 5 Archons, High Templar as well. Astrea has the bare minimum to defend, and he needs more time for storms. Without storms, he can't save the fourth. It's not going to happen. The fourth is going to go down. Astrea trying to buy time. I mean, with the help of the overcharge, he will defend his third. But the fourth falls. Fourth base goes down. Astrea going for another Zealot run by. Zealots will trade well against the Lings. Decent storm. Zealots catching the Queens, getting into the mineral line, dealing some damage. Forces back the entire army. Not bad. Buying time. Bearing in mind as well that Dark hasn't teched. Still no Lurker Den or Hive. And Astrea, he's building up an even stronger army. That's a lot of High Templar. Oh my god. That's 9. 9 High Templar. We could do with a couple of Archons, is what I will say. It's mainly, I mean, it's purely High Templar Immortal. Some kind of buffer zone is what we were lacking earlier. Appreciate. This Dark is getting ready for a Baneling drop. Passing on more Ling Hydra. So far, some okay storms. mainly zoning away. Infestation bit now is almost done. Dark finally working towards Hive. And then run by towards the third. Oh my god. Archons, they do morph in at the same time. Dark is going for the fourth once again. Ravens get 5 probe kills. The Lings shouldn't get much more though. The fourth base is going to be saved. I say that 11 probe kills. And I'm still so anxious about the lack of Archons. Melee drop coming in. Not bad. Getting 15 workers in total. That's including the 11 probes that were killed earlier by the Ling Flood. Like, this army for Astrea, it's so fragile. Like, a couple of Banelings, and that's going to spell the end of all these High Templar. Oh! As a Prism almost does go down. There we go. We have 2 Archons morphing in. We have some support. Speaking of, Banelings are denied. No Archons on the right-hand side. Yeah, Darky's going for the surround. He wants High Templar. He wants them. He gets 1. He forces out Storms, and he's going to get even more. And again, this is what happens when you have no Archons. High Templar, they get shut down. Such a risky way to play, and Dark will punish. Takes down the spellcasters. I mean, Astrea does hold. It's holding on. Behind this Dark, Lurker Den is almost done. Now he's finally getting to Lurkers. The Immortal count is still quite solid, though. It's looking strong. Dark pulling away, committing with a massive Ling run by. This time the Archons are ready. Let's go. We have Archons. Astrea is keeping up. He's holding on. He's buying time. He's slowly maxing out on charge lots. High Templar Immortal. A couple of Archons sprinkled in. He is maxing. Likewise, Dark can now build up his Lurker tech. Army is spotted. Dark coming in with the surround. And once again, the High Templar force the storm, forcing a recall as well. 1 Immortal goes down. Expansion is denied. At the same time, Astrea going for the base on the right-hand side as well, going for the hatchery. Can he bring it down? Not quite. Hatchery does survive. Here we go, Astrea is finally moving out across the map. At the same time, Dark going for a Ling counterattack. The wall is open. No, the wall is wide open. Yeah, the wall is not a wall. Darky busts into the natural at the same time, hits the 4th base, and Astrea is all in. At this point, it's all or nothing. Workers are going down. The economy has been broken. At the same time, Zelt's into the main army pushing on the right-hand side. We'll bring down the hatchery. That's a lot of Immortals. That's 14. 14 Immortals. He's crazy. Meanwhile, Dark is going for the base trade. He's taking down the natural, taking down the 4th. Rallying Lings across the map. Lurkers are ready. Got 11 Lurkers against 15 Immortals. Lurkers, they'll hold the line. Straight back at home, trying to hold on. Bleeding out units. Bleeding out buildings. Oh, the base goes down. And Dark, he just ignores the main army. He's going for the 3rd, and Astrea, he might just lose all his buildings. He has to come back. He doesn't want to, but he has to. As all the buildings are flashing. Astrea doesn't have much left. It's all or nothing. 13 Immortals. He's going in. Does get the revelation. Oof. Storm coming in. Another storm available. Observer goes down. Oh, wait. And with that, it looks like the Lurkers, they should be able to clean this up. GG gets called. There's just not enough here for Astrea, and Dark will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. A very interesting game. Again, Astrea was playing such a risky, such a greedy style as well, just going purely immortal high tempo for so long. Was getting punished for it, of course. Dark trading very nicely with purely Ling. Eventually got into his lurkers, and at a certain point, Astrea did hit critical mass. He did hit critical mass of, you know, of immortal, of High Templar, of his main army. But Dark, he just ignores it. He just ignores the main army. Does a counterattack instead, and was able to kind of force an all-in and just stifle the economy of Astrea. GG. GG, well played. Oh, Dark, we'll take it. We'll take it in the end. And now we're going to be following Dark into his next series. Into his next matchup against Beyond.